Okay, so in this video, we're going to be working on getting our paging system up. We'll start with the simplest ones and then move on to the more complicated ones. So we can start in about here. Have to replace that, but here is about, so here we just have this and we're just throwing this banner down. But we'll need to actually throw out the page and, okay, so there is something that we can use called a component, which we can use to shuffle through components, and we'll use it to shuffle through our pages, basically. We go to the original project and go to the menu about pages. You can see that here. We'll just worry about this part. Not quite ready for the comment sections, but yeah, something like this. Okay, so we'll need a page, right? So those will go in here. Go ahead and add a new file, call it overview.vue. I believe it's named that simply, right? Probably got to have a little bit more than that. Okay, that's fine. So we'll indicate our, these are basically our nav buttons, right? About stats admin. So go ahead and add some folders for that. Not a, it says 110, but we don't actually have it called 110 and about, but that's fine. Admin and new folder, call it stats. And the overview looks like that. So 0_.u, we throw that in here. Yep. Okay. Quick template. We'll just throw something so that we know what it is. And this will just say about overview. You can change it later, but we just want to get something on it. But yeah, just to have our pages listed. So now we basically would just be importing these pages and then placing them in arrays, basically. Where this is an array for the 110, which is not 110. It's about, this is for stats, and then this is for admin, and then we can just throw in the pages that way. I guess let's just go ahead and make some pages for that. More than that, but just the pages. An admin, I'll copy this in here. We don't have to do as much. Rename it the admin page. And then we'll also have a stats page. Stats page. We'll say stats. And we'll say admin. Okay, so now we can import these. Make some room on about pages. You can import our pages. Import uh, a bunch of them. Basically just like that. Import 0 overview. So not quite like that. Oh, you can't have a number in the front. Do it that way. But I guess this is actually, we have all these pages listed somewhere in about pages. So we actually have another component that basically has all of them for the 110 sections. So I guess we can just go ahead and add that. So, here, and that'll just be an 110 section view file about pages view. And so that'll basically look like this. Just has a script in it that's holding our 110 pages. And we have the pages that we can export. Export default. Probably also not, probably not too much value in typing this out, right? When something's marked with default, uh, when you import it, you can use the brackets basically. If it's just a normal component, you can just do this. But yeah, okay. So I'll just copy this one for now. We only have one. Should be in about the same place. You come here. So we have that, and this is from about pages, which is this component, which is also in the same place. I guess there's really nothing special, right? Nothing special about importing anymore. So this should come from here. I know I need to move faster. There's just way too much shit going on. I just seen the video from good politic guy fucking Israel bombing the A flotilla to Gaza to bring them food. It's just fucking horrible. And it is. Yeah, now, yeah, it's got me fucked up. Yeah, I just feel like I'm moving way too damn slow. I really shouldn't be typing stuff that has no more meaning and that I don't really need to explain. Uh, yeah. Okay, so that's there, and we need to actually stick our pages somewhere. So we can have a console there, and it's kind of just like the nav buttons, right? Except it's pages, and these are constant. They're not going to change. I mean, you can add to it, obviously, right? But this is really just a two-dimensional array, right? Where the first dimension of the array is basically the nav bar, and then the second dimension is the actual pages. So it's pretty simple. Have this overview 1 or 0, so that, and then we have our other ones, right? Oh, we need to also import our other pages, which is basically just this, our stats page and our admin page. And yeah, and you can call this whatever you want. This is the component that we're, the actual component, but you could call this something else and then just use it, and it would be just fine. It kind of serves as an alias in that way, but yeah. But these are actually specific. Where we have these here and we have the default export, but these are not as specific. Okay, so now we have these. Now throw these in here. So now we throw our pages into our component. It reuses is property. There's some other stuff, but we'll get into that really when we're jumping around as when that becomes necessary, not really so necessary at the moment. Well, whatever. Too much at the moment is equal to pages, and we can navigate through our pages using our using don't see it, using our navigation global variable. And this needs to be inside here. Okay. Right. So we just have our two dimensions. A color name, but I don't think don't need it immediately. All right. So we have our our page index and our navbar index. And that's basically that. Okay. So now we should be able to see based on what the values are. All right. And just as about overview. So that is there. Although we have no way to move between the pages, we will need a way to do that. And in pages, basically, well, this is where I put them anyway. We need a next page and a previous page button, components, pages, and a next page button and a previous page button. So we'll just need to work through that. Don't want to just run through it. So new components, like something small. I'll just copy the menu button because there's not too much in it. We'll see what you work from there, right? So this just a button with an icon in it. That's all it will be. An ion button and an ion icon. And that ion, the icon is the arrow forward for the next page. We have this arrow forward circle icon that we're going to use, indicating to go forward. And yeah, we also have to update our navigation as well. Need that global state. Okay, we got this button. We got ion icon and the source, which we need a colon because it's a variable, it's not a string, is this arrow forward. Okay. Okay. Let's just go ahead and throw it in. So this will need to be on in the page. So this page, I don't know where it was. We will need a script. Let's grab this. And we need to import that button that we just made. Come here. Next page button. Okay. Okay, let's see what we can see. Next page button. Failed to resolve it. Did I name it properly? Nope, just says that. Rename to next page button. There we go. Can't quite see it. Is it because it doesn't have a size? So as far as sizes, no. It says page icon. It just got some width and height, and there's a class on it. Probably name it a little different than that. I will get rid of that and call it the next page button. Might as well just make it an ID. It should only be one on a page at a given time, and there will only be one out on a page at a given time. Still don't see nothing, no. Keep moving forward. Or does that need to be on the icon, actually, not the button? It's probably. Yeah. And then there's some opacity stuff. I still see nothing. Okay. Yeah, I see the dirt, but I don't see the next page button. I have the next page button here. Test. See that, but I don't see this button slot in. Like, probably not necessary. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's part of it. Probably definitely want to fill clear everything. Fill equals clear. Because we really only want to see the button. Okay. So now we have a button, and we're going to need some logic, right? Some logic in it that says, go to the next page, basically. It's pretty simple. Um, at click equals, I guess the next page is fine. So I guess you'd say, like, go to next page. Sounds more descriptive, I guess. Yeah, that function, right? If we're not on the last page, we wouldn't want to go to the next page. So we can have a prop on that can be fed to it that says if it's the last page, yeah, basically wouldn't be doing that, and it wouldn't actually shouldn't even be visible, right? Because it's the next page button. So what makes it? Oh, I see. This is what makes it invisible. If we're if this variable is fed in, this is what would affect the opacity. So I guess we'll make our way to that. But for now, when we call the function, say navigation dot page index plus plus, which means we increase the value by 1. That's all it does. And then we would want to set that in local storage. Okay. Is that enough to move? Well, moved us. Moved us to the next page, but yeah, no way to go back. Wonk. That way to go back. Okay, let's quickly add in some more pages. There's actually a better way to do this, as I'm realizing that I didn't uh, fully implement all the way in the old project, but we can do that later. Let's just add in some more pages for now. Let's just get in a couple. Oh, it's fine. This will be have more pages. CEO. Main trend. Naming them the same, and we'll update the style after. I did already check here, and it was fine. CEO, employee features, and I had to fix that too. Pet lessons 3 and 4. Chat features, M4A features, and we'll just, yeah, add some simple stuff, or just a little header at the top so that we can tell that the pages are different. That'll be enough. Okay. Tools, that CEO, M4A features, chat features, and let's quickly just make these pages. 5 of them, then more. Okay. Got a team for the CEO. Uh, One for Palestine. Got a 3 for them for A features. And out of 4 for chat features. Okay. Uh, Chat features, and just change what's at the top real quick so that we can tell them apart basically when we do move between them. And a block. CEO. say info. And free as hell is soon good enough. So we'll be able to tell them apart. And here we already have these. It's good enough. They match the names. Okay. So I can get these in here. It's already escaped me. There it is. This, 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 this. Okay, so now we have this. Some pages that we could actually move through and all this. Throw them down into our first array so that we can get the movement down. And then once we've done that, we can refine this to make it actually better and actually much plainer. It'll be much plainer when we're done. Okay, so we have that. So now we really need to just work on our buttons. So now when we move, see, now we can move through them, but we can't move back. Okay, we need the ability to move back. So we have a next page button. We will need previous page button. So we go to previous page. And simple enough, just to, this will be a backward circle, right? Backward. Okay, what is it? Back circle. Okay. Let me get that in. Should be, I guess that has to be on every page. We copied all those pages and we don't have it. Next page button, previous page button, previous. So, I mean, yeah, so this is the first page. It really wouldn't have one, but I guess really it would, and we would need to know if it was basically what it is, right? Like, say you're, not a good example. Say you're here, right? Having this button here, I think this button is here. Actually, that's problematic that you can still see that, but the button is there, and not having it there would make this shit shift over to the left, and it wouldn't be centered. So you have to have it there, but it's just sort of invisible, so that you can see it. I think it's just opaque, but really it should be disabled. But we will check that as we go through the new problem, because this people will be like, why is that like that? Or maybe they would have never noticed. I don't know. But yes, you want to still have it there. That way everything can be centered, basically, so you make it invisible. But we could probably also do something about this as well. Okay, just to quickly explain that. So we will go ahead and just throw this button, this previous button there. Okay, cool. Now we want to do that for all of these pages. We need to go import it for all of them as well, though. Shadow and Palatine. I don't see the CEO here, and then you come here, and we also need to import the previous button as well. Chat features, balance time. If we had done this on one page, you wouldn't have to do this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. I think we got them all. Okay. Why? I thought I did. Do I need to refresh? Okay, yep. Need to refresh. Okay, now we have the ability to go back and forward. That's cool. Looks ugly, but at least we can move. Yeah. You might also be wondering, like, or not wondering, but yeah, there is no right clicking and opening a new tab, because you'll notice the URL actually never changes. The only thing that we're doing is just changing the page that is displayed. So it basically just sort of basically forces the user to use the UI and navigate through the UI. Well, that's not technically true, right? Because, like, say if you wanted to jump to a different nav bar on your own without clicking anything, you could just come here, change the 0 to a 1, hit enter, you hit refresh, and then it jumps. Or if you were here and wanted to move up or move to a different page, you would just type it in, enter, it'd be the same thing. So, yeah, you could do that for everything except for the menu index because that's not going to change the URL. I mean, I could program it to account for that, but it's not intended to work this way anyway, right? See, nothing happened. I mean, this changed, but that's not gonna get you very get you very far. But yeah, yeah, I could have had URLs for everything, but yeah, I kind of like this paging method. Yeah. Okay, so we can go ahead and make this cleaner, right? You don't want to have like a shit ton of pages, and this just gets longer and longer. So that's why we have this file and we're not using it, right? I had already figured it out for the M4A section, but I guess I just never applied it to other things. So we can just make a constant, just like the other pages or nav buttons. Call constant, call it about pages 110 and say that they equal no, space there. Say that it equals we would just want to import these like normal. Well, I guess we don't have to do that. Say crap, import these, and we just throw these into an array. Okay, and then we would just export this instead. Export about export default. It seems like when you use default this way, you don't actually have to use the brackets from what I saying, but yeah, maybe I don't completely understand it, but that's cool. Because if you do this way, it'll get angry here. And since this is an array, right? So we don't want to leave these brackets here. That would make it, a three-dimensional array. So we have to replace the brackets as well. And we've just put this here. But it's complaining. But if we just get rid of these brackets around, then it'll stop complaining. Look. Okay, so now it works the same. And it looks cleaner. So now we want to add more pages. It's not going to make this uglier and longer. And yeah, we can just add them here, and yeah, this is cleaner. So that's a cleaner method. Okay, let's just throw this HTML banner on just the about page. Obviously, we need to actually get our animated SVG going, but we'll get to that after we've finished getting everything else that we need for our buttons. But let's start moving stuff out of the way. Yeah, this can just go on the overview, store it in there, import it. Um, Okay, and we'll have to do something about centering and the last page, which would be easy, right? Let's say something about the last page. So this goes off into nowhere. And we don't want to go off into nowhere. We need to mark the one that is the last page. So that should be pretty simple. Um, that would be the chat features and feed into the next page button and called last page, and I'll say that it is equal to true. So that is a prompt. We have to on the button to the next page. So prompts fine prompts, and this is isn't it like this? I think last page prompts Okay, last page. Yeah, so now basically, I guess we just wouldn't show it. Or it needs to not be, we changed the opacity, I think is what we did, right? Which sort of makes it invisible, but really, I mean, there are different ways that different things that you could do to it. If you disable it, it would still be visible. But like, just to show what that would look like, disabled equals last page. If it's the last page, it's disabled. So now it's gray, and you can't click it, which might be what we want to do to get rid of what we could call a bug. But let's see. Let's try working with that. Let's go look at what we were doing. So next page says opacity. Um, it seems like the style of the colon is the only one that needs brackets. It'll complain if you don't have brackets on it. But all the other ones with columns don't need brackets and don't seem to care. But style seems to be a little special. I don't know if it's because it always gets its own, or because it can have its own section and it's special in that way. But yeah, so let's see, opacity. It's too much. So now, I guess well, I mean, we can't see it. We can't see it and it's disabled. So I guess that keeps you from clicking it. Let's see. Guess we'll just quickly see what that does. We're to just take that here. Really, it'd just be the first page, right? Um, this previous page. Yeah, okay. If the page index, it depends on, so we're looking at the page index. If the page index is 0, basically, or not 0. So we would look at that instead. No space there. Opacity. If the page index is not equal to 0, we'll set the opacity to 1. Otherwise, we set it to 0. I think have we seen the question marks with the conditionals? But basically, just in case we have it, like we have a style property called opacity, and we say is navigation.page index not equal to 0? If it's not equal to 0, this is what we're checking for. We'll set it to 1. Otherwise, we set it to 0, and that's the only thing that's the same. Okay, so um, but we want to also do the same thing with disabled. Disabled um equals not all that, but just the conditional checking stuff. Okay, let me just make sure it's still centered the way it was. If we got rid of this, nothing moved, and does it? Uh, why can we still click on it? Previous. So it should be disabled if it is equal to 0. Yeah, we don't need all this. Yeah, this isn't quite right. We're disabling it if the page index is equivalent to 0. That makes sense. And yet, you can still click on it. Let's see. If you get rid of this part, is it actually disabled? It's not. Okay, so we're doing something wrong. Page index, okay, say not equal to 0, but it should be. Nothing's happening. Oh, this is on the icon. I mean, right? That's the problem. What the heck? What is this 5? What did I do? Okay, so that's just on the icon. I wonder if you could just also put it there, but it's the button that needs to be disabled. Okay, now it's gone and can't click on it. Could we also just put this opacity on the button? Yep, also works on the button. So now the whole button. So yeah, that's not working on that, but this is essentially what we would want. Since we just worked it and explained it, I don't see any reason that we can't just copy it. Although I don't know if that's named the same. So let's just copy this and put it on our previous button. And I think our last button is good already. Let's because it's getting kind of long. Let's go ahead and put some of this on new lines. Indent. Yes. Okay. So I think that's it, right? I think we covered both scenarios. The next button be disabled, last page out, not last page, blah 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 blah. Okay, I think we're good. Now there's no previous page, and there's no clicking on an invisible button. So cool, and now we can't jump off into nowhere. So that takes care of the functionality for the buttons. Okay, so the very last thing that we need to do for the paging system, since the buttons and stuff work pretty well, and we have a basic way of moving through them. We really just need to get all of this stuff centered, right? Uh, so we can come to our about pages, come here and put our component in a div. Just put this up because we don't have too much in it at the moment. The rest of the div here. State class equals flex center column. We want everything to be a column in the middle. Or maybe we don't want it necessarily to be a column like this, right? If we come here and look at this, there are some pages where we have the next and previous buttons on the top and the bottom, and it depends if you want it there or not. But for a lot of the pages, we're just gonna want them on the side or not. Depends, like I said, depends on which one it is. But easy way to control that. Like go back here. This is at least centered. This one is fine, but for this one, say we want these on the sides and we want a video in between, we just have to go to that specific page, right? And we would put this stuff, not the header, since we don't want that to be lined up in a row, but we would come here and slap it on these. And instead of a flex center column, we would do a flex center row. Oh, this is out. I did this on the overview. I did this on the wrong place. Not you. It's supposed to be in Palestine. So not the header, just these. And then we do that. And then looks like this. And then we could put a video in between it. Yeah. So we would just do that to all of the other ones. I guess the CEO isn't actually like that, so we'll leave that one alone. M4A features and the chat can be that way. And the other pages, the other nav bar pages. So that one, and then our features. You can do it to our features as well. Yeah, I just quickly do that. This one, eh, that one. This one, they're also near stats and admin. Actually, they have no pages. They're by themselves. There are no pages on them. But yeah, basically. So now these are like that. Instead of up and down, they're left and right. And you could put a video in between them. This one's that 'cause they don't want it that way. These are. So that's basically it now. And then yeah. So this is pretty good. So yeah, I think that's good enough for the paging system. And in the next video, we can cover adding I also apologize for, like, the sound from the computer is obviously on time, but there is a noticeable delay when I speak and it comes out, and that's why the sound can be so off. And plus, I still have my shitty 1080 Ti graphics card. Yeah, I can't really buy one at the moment. NVIDIA's being so stupid with their prices and their fucking value proposition and fucking lying to people about what their newer cards can do, or over exaggerating when it's obvious. But yeah, I mean, should still get a better. I should still get a better graphics card. But anyway, in the next video, we will work on getting in videos and also work on our video flipper for we want to have a second video on the same page with some extra information on it. So we'll do that in the next video, and I will see you then.